What's good everyone, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and today we're here to talk about 21 Savage, Metro Boomin, and their recently released collaborative effort Savage Mode 2. Now the first week sales projections are in for this album because of course it did just come out this week, but I wanted to discuss the sales and the numbers we have so far because they're super surprising and it's really interesting to me, so let's break it down.
Fresh shit, poppin' tag, fresh shit, fresher than a fresh prince, smelling like a fucking mint, talking about that cash shit. Bag shit, rack it up and bag it, yeah, eating shrimps, all my bitches heaven sent, hey, yeah, smell the stick, smoking on that president, hey, yeah, cash shit, bag shit, rag shit, huh.
Okay, first of all, let's just begin with some context. So in 21's career thus far, there's been two major projects of his. Savage Mode was released before he was on that mainstream level, so it didn't really have those big first week sales, but Issa was like his first proper commercial album, and as you can see on screen right here, it sold 77k in his first week, which is really impressive. Then on top of that, he followed it up with I Am Greater Than I Was, and that did 131k first week, and these numbers are really big numbers. As you guys know, over the course of like these last few years, 21 has had some major hits, both feature wise and in terms of his solo songs, so it kind of makes sense. But even me, when I saw him sell 131k, I was like really surprised at how well he did. And on top of that, these aren't like big merch bundle inflated sales or anything like that. He only did 18k pure sales, so that means over 100k worth of these sales were people actually streaming the music. So that right there kind of sets the background and the context for 21's numbers. Now of course we move on to Savage Mode 2, which is a follow-up to the wildly successful original collaborative project between the two. Now this then brings us to these predictions right here, courtesy of hitsdailydouble.com, where as you can see they predicted 21 Savage and Metro Boomin to do 170 to 195k first week in total activity and 14 to 17k pure album sales. Now just to put this into perspective of how big this actually is, let's compare it to this right here, Blackpink. Now if you aren't aware of who Blackpink are, Blackpink, I honestly never heard of them before, but as you can see they're like a Korean K-pop band or something like that. But crucial to note, and I just touched on this earlier with Issa, look at this, 110 to 125k first week predicted, but 90 to 100k of those are pure album sales, which basically translates to, as you can see on screen right here, a fuck ton of merch bundle deals. Well, not just merch bundle deals, literally anything bundle deals. You want to get an ice cream patch, you get a digital album. You want an ice cream funny dice, you get a digital album. You want an ice cream litho, you get a digital album. You want a sleeping mask, a necklace, what else have they got? Bumper sticker, cosmetic pouch, hand sanitizer, bucket hat. You want anything right here. This motherfucker can supply everything for your house and then some. What haven't they got? I don't know what haven't they got, but basically you want anything on their website, you get a digital album. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, there's a huge difference, and this is super important to note. You know, people talk about these album bundle sales as kind of not being important anymore. That's completely false. As I explained in this video right here, they changed the rules a little bit, but labels still can do these merch bundle sales to counter first week sales. So as you can see right here, even though they sold 110 to 125k predicted first week sales, that means only roughly 20 to 25k of those sales are coming from people actually clicking on the music and listening to the music themselves. Whereas as you can see right here in the case of Metro and 21, it's what, 150 160k streams coming from people actually listening to the music, which just shows how massive this album has been for the culture and how many people are listening to it. Now it is also important to mention the fact that they do have merch bundle deals, and as you can see they're also doing, you get a shot glass, you get a digital album, etc. You want a wireless headphone, you want to get a keyring, all that type of stuff for Savage Mode 2, but as you can see it's only contributing a small amount, as I said. Now on top of this, to exemplify how well this project is doing, I also want to touch on the Spotify numbers, which I've got up right here, and the Apple Music numbers. But before we get onto that, guys, I just want to give a couple quick shout outs to some recent Instagram followers. As always, guys, you guys know how we come in. Shout out to Savage_David, Savage fit in for this video, much appreciated my G, and also shout out to JB from MySpace, much appreciated you two for following me over on my IG. If you guys don't follow your boy, man, at yadiiiigg, go follow your boy right now, man. Go show me some support over there, always much appreciated. Go over to my new post and tell me your favorite album of the year so far. I'm replying to all the comments, kind of discussing what you guys have said, so make sure to head over there and show your boy some love. Anyways, as I said, let's get to these Spotify numbers right here. Now, as you guys can see, this is the day of release for the US daily Spotify chart. Now, as you can see, in the top 10 alone, 21 Savage and Metro Boomin had 6 songs, and not to mention the top 4 songs. This is huge and just exemplifies how many people actually listen to the music. And on top of this, I've also got the data for the 4th, which is the most recent data I have access to. And as you can see, still in the top 5 are 2 of these songs with Running and Drake. And on top of that, I've got the US Apple Music chart as of this moment right here. And just have a look at this. They've got something like 15 out of the top 26 songs as of this moment. It might be different by the time you're watching this video. And again, top 6 are all them. So yeah, so far, initially, it's been very, very successful and it's on pace to do very, very well first week. But what do I always say when it comes to this stuff? It's not so much how well the album does first week. Of course, you can kind of gauge how much immediate relevance the artist has when they drop the music, but it's always more important how well the album does over time, whether it has hits, etc., because it's really hit songs that kind of make albums have longevity and keep those streams going over extended periods of times, nowadays at least. Now, this is super important to the story of 21 because 21, if you're not actually familiar, just like with Savage Mode 2, Savage Mode 1, Issa and I Am Greater Than I Was all had no singles leading up to it. That means they were just straight dropped and then the singles came after. Now, this just kind of adds to how successful these projects have been first week because, of course, you know, with situations like Drake's album sales or even Cardi B's album sales, when they have songs like Bodak Yellow or God's Plan, where the first week sales of those albums are inclusive of the first week streams of those singles, and those singles are already huge and getting radio play everywhere, of course the numbers are getting inflated. So to have such high album sales consistently over his career, and again with Savage Mode 2, considering you have no lead hit single leading into the project, is even more of a tribute to 21 in this case. Now, this is also important in the case of the longevity and whether this album will have a hit. As you guys can see on screen right here with the wiki up, every single project of 21's has had a hit. With Savage Mode, of course, it had X and No Heart, Issa had Bank Account, and then I Am Greater Than I Was had a lot. Now, why this is super important to note is because all of these projects have been certified gold, at least with Savage Mode going gold, which you can see right here, and then Issa going gold, and then I Am Greater Than I Was going platinum. Now, this is super important to note because I don't think without any of these hit singles, I highly doubt any of these projects would get gold or anything like that. Now, to kind of loop this back into the discussion of Savage Mode 2, what's super important to realize is that the 2 big lead singles for this project right now, which as you can see is Mr. Right Now and Running, both on the Apple Music chart and also over on the Spotify chart, are getting a huge push and huge promotion from the label. As you can see on screen right here, I've kind of got the current playlist information for Mr. Right Now, which of course features Drake, so it kind of makes sense why they're pushing this, but as you can see, it's in all the major playlists: Today's Top Hits, Global Top 50, Rap Caviar, and at the moment, as I always say, this is one of the most important statistics, total playlist followers, which is a total amount of followers for every single playlist that this song is in. And really, this is the key statistic right here and shows really how much investment and how much push the song is getting. And as you can see right now, obviously it kind of goes without saying it's Drake on a single, so you're going to push it a lot, but it has 80 million, so this is definitely being pushed to that bigger level. Now, on top of that, Running, which is the other single I mentioned, as you guys can see on screen right here, is also getting quite a push with it being in a number of big playlists. And on top of that, it currently has over 54 million total playlist followers as of this moment. So yeah, that seems to kind of be the second single they're going for right now. And on top of that, they also did a video for that, so that'll kind of boost it up over time as well. So yeah, as of right now, it's kind of looking as though, just like with these other projects, 21 is primed to have a hit single with this project right here, with Mr. Right Now getting a big push, and of course, as I said, has that Drake feature, so it kind of has that recipe for a hit. So that seems to be a hit right now, which is always good for the longevity of the album. And as I said, just in general, this album seems to be a huge success. And just on a personal level for me, I am so happy with how this project came out. You know, with follow-up albums and sequels, it can always be a bit of a hit or a miss situation, and you always inevitably end up comparing it to the previous album. With this one, what I really liked is the fact that they didn't play it safe. It's not like it's just like a Savage Mode Part 2 in the sense that it's the same sound, again with no diversity. No, Metro kind of changed it up on 21 a bit and kind of extended his range, I think, on this project. The features, I think, really added to it. The Young Thug song is probably my favorite on the album. That beat is so smooth, and not gonna lie, I also like the Drake feature as well. So yeah, overall, on a personal level, I'm really happy with this project. I've been bumping it a lot. How does it compare to Savage Mode 1? I don't know. As I said in my No Jumper video, Savage Mode 1 is definitely a classic to me, but Savage Mode 2, I guess we'll see how well it does over time. I'm not necessarily ready to say it's better than number 1 yet, but I'm definitely satisfied. And in terms of the commercial performance as well, as you guys can tell throughout this video, it's been a very big commercial success so far with its first week numbers all around the board, and with it likely having at least one hit with that Drake single, and then who knows what kind of comes after that. It could very well go on to have major commercial success in the long term thanks to those hits right there, if they kind of turn into those big songs that they could. So yeah, as you guys can see right there, a huge success success for this project overall right now. Make sure to let us know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. What you think about the album, how does it compare to the original, etc, etc. What you think about the sales, all of that good stuff. Also, if you guys haven't, man, make sure that like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications as well, all that good YouTube stuff, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't.